I'm so sorry I haven't made a video in quite a while, just because I haven't had the time to do it. But I'm back now, back here today, and ready now to get on and make a new video. So today's video is going to be all about making a homemade kiln. Now this is an experiment I'm really excited to do, because I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't really have a strategy or plan for what I'm going to do, and it's just going to be a little learning journey of figuring things out all along the way. So I'm really excited to get started with that. And to build the kiln, we're going to be using some old bricks from a wall we knocked down outside my house just recently. And it's all about reusing the things around us and making them into something that's fit for purpose. And I'm really excited to get the kiln made, make some lovely pots and get some clay fired. So let's get on with it and see how it goes. Okay guys, so this is really our starting point. I'm really sorry, I did actually film the first part of this, but I have lost the filming footage for some reason. So the first part I haven't got on video, so I'll just talk you through it a little bit. So we're going with the traditional pit firing method. So I've got my pit, and within that I've built the foundations of my kiln. So the hardest thing here was actually getting these bricks level, because as you can see, being a pit, it is dug on a hill, and we are obviously on a hill here. So the ground was not level at all. So I had to use bits of stone and all sorts of mud and little bits of clay to just sort of prop it up and get as level a surface as I can. It's still not completely level, but it'll do, you know. This isn't a precise science, this is just a bit of caveman pit firing. So we're really not that fussy about the smallest details. And what I'm going to do from here is simply building up my first chamber, the fire chamber, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is my brick pile. Obviously I'm just going to start loading the bricks into here. So let's get on with that. Right, so this is where we've got to so far. Well, there are nice big air gaps in the bricks. I think it's going to be really useful to fueling the fire. I've gone about 4 bricks high so far, and to be honest, I think that is reaching the height I would like for this fire chamber. So what I think I'm going to do is just sort of neaten this up a bit, get it supported with like bricks along the side here so that the walls are really reinforced and work quite well. And then we will sort out putting in some kind of pottery shelf and building the ceramic chamber. Right, so for the pottery shelf I've got a few ideas, because what I need is a material that is going to absorb heat, retain heat, and most importantly radiate heat to the top chamber. The pottery in that chamber needs to be at 560 degrees centigrade or 1000 degrees Fahrenheit for a prolonged amount of time in order to thoroughly fire the pots and make sure they are set right through. So one idea I have is this sheet of steel. But I thought this would be a really good idea because, as we all know, steel heats up quite well and holds its heat. However, if that heat isn't maintained at a constant high, the minute this loses a bit of heat, it's going to start to absorb it again from the top chamber and cool the pottery and result in an unfired pot. So my second idea, which I'm quite pleased with, is this. So what this is a mesh made of various bits of chicken wire that I just found lying around in the garden. What I've done is I've just used pair pliers and my bare hands to manipulate it and weave it together as such. So I'm hoping these holes are small enough for the pottery to not fall through. But I think that is going to be my shelf, purely because with this, we are not relying on the material itself to heat the chamber and radiate the heat. Instead, we're allowing the flames to lick up through here and really fire it at a constant temperature that's going to be consistent throughout the whole burning process. Right, so now we've got our shelf in here. The next thing to do is build the top chamber, the pottery chamber, the bit we've all been waiting for. So what we've got now is our two chambers. We've got the fire chamber at the bottom where we're going to load in the fuel. It's got air access all around, and then we've got the chamber in the top. Now my only worry at this point is that there are gaps in the top chamber which will allow hot air to escape, which we really don't want. We want to keep the top chamber as insulated as possible. Meanwhile, we want the bottom chamber full of air vents. So I'm going to have a go at filling those in with something. I'm not quite sure what yet. Now for the top, I have got a slab of concrete, which I'm going to put on. Originally that was going to be like a lid that you can lift on and off, but after actually picking it up I've realised how heavy it is and how little I really want to be lifting it. So we're going to probably make some sort of removable sort of wall here that we can just flap in and out to put the pottery in and out and check how it's going, just to make things a little bit easier for ourselves. Fabulous. Whew. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing for the front piece yet. I did want to get this metal sheet, sort of slide it in the front and then have some bricks in front of it just to keep the heat in, but the metal sheet doesn't quite fit in this gap, so I will have another think about what I can do to seal the front up. But for now, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, there's loads of gaps in the bricks around this top chamber, and we really don't want that. That is one thing we really want to avoid, because it needs to be as insulated as possible to keep in as much heat. We want to keep it at 560 degrees at least, so that pottery is constantly heated and consistently fired. So I'm going to just go around, get some bits of like soggy cardboard like I can see over there. So anything wet, damp, we could use bits of mud, ash, clay, anything to literally just fill in those gaps and get a bit of insulation. Okay guys, so as you know, I wanted to use this piece of metal as the door to the kiln so that we can just slide it in and out and have nice easy access to the pottery during the firing. So what I'm going to have to do is actually grind a slither off the edge because it's slightly too wide, the width of the kiln. So I've put a little crocodile clip on here to mark where it needs to be cut, and I'm going to draw a little Sharpie line down there and then get on and grind away. Okay, so safety goggles on and let's get grinding. Okay, so obviously now we've got our lovely piece of grinded metal here, and I just want to see if it fits in the front of the kiln, which is obviously what it's for. So here is the drum roll, please. Ta-da! Yes, it fits. So when the kiln is actually fired up and we've got some pieces in there, what I would do is fill this front bit here with some bricks to just wall that in and keep it upright, to keep the heat in and insulate the top chamber. Okay guys, so that is it. That is the general concept of our kiln created. I can't wait to test it out, but of course that content will be in the next video, where you will see me make and fire some clay pots, and I'm really excited to do that and just to see how the kiln fares when it's put to the test. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.